"That's what they say," Nell said virtuously. "The ghost guts his victims and plays with their entrails before slipping away into the night." Temperance shivered. "Why would he do that?" "Envy," Nell said matter-of-factly. "He envies the living." "Well, I don't believe in spirits in any case." Temperance took a breath as they turned the corner into a small, wretched courtyard. Two figures stood at the opposite end, but they scuttled away at their approach. Temperance let out her breath. "Lord, I hate being abroad at night." Nell patted the infant's back. "Only a half-mile more. Then we can put this wee one to bed and send for the wet nurse in the morning." Temperance bit her lip as they ducked into another alley. "Do you think she'll live until morning?" But Nell, usually quite free with her opinions, was silent. Temperance peered ahead and hurried her step. The baby looked to be only weeks old and had not yet made a sound since they'd recovered her from the arms of her dead mother. Normally, a thriving infant was quite loud. Terrible to think that she and Nell might have made this dangerous outing for naught. But then what choice had there been, really? When she'd received word at the Home for Unfortunate Infants and Foundling Children that a baby was in need of her help, it had still been light. She'd known from bitter experience that if they'd waited until morn to retrieve the child, it would either have expired in the night from lack of care, or would have already been sold for a beggar's prop. She shuddered. The children bought by beggars were often made more pitiful to elicit sympathy from passers-by. An eye might be put out, or a limb broken or twisted. No, she'd really had no choice. The baby couldn't wait until morning. Still, she'd be very happy when they made it back to the home. They were in a narrow passage now, the tall houses on either side leaning inward ominously. Nell was forced to walk behind Temperance or risk brushing the sides of the buildings. A scrawny cat snaked by, and then there was a shout very near. Temperance's steps faltered. "Someone's up ahead," Nell whispered hoarsely. They could hear scuffling, and then a sudden high scream. Temperance swallowed. The alley had no side passages. They could either retreat or continue. And to retreat meant another 20 minutes added to their journey. That decided her. The night was chilly, and the cold wasn't good for the babe. "Stay close to me," she whispered to Nell. "Like a flea on a dog," Nell muttered. Temperance squared her shoulders and held the pistol firmly in front of her. Winter, her youngest brother, had said that one need only point it and shoot. That couldn't be too hard. The light from the lantern spilled before them as she entered another crooked courtyard. Here she stood still for just a second, her light illuminating the scene ahead like a pantomime on a stage. A man lay on the ground, bleeding from the head. But that wasn't what froze her. Blood, and even death, were common enough in St. Giles. No. What arrested her was the second man. He crouched over the first, his black cloak spread to either side of him like the wings of a great bird of prey. He held a long black walking stick, the end tipped with silver, echoing his hair, which was silver as well. It fell straight and long, glinting in the lantern's light. Though his face was mostly in darkness, his eyes glinted from under the brim of a black tricorn. Temperance could feel the weight of the stranger's stare. It was as if he physically touched her. "Lord, save and preserve us from evil," Nell murmured, for the first time sounding fearful. "Come away, ma'am, swiftly." Thus urged, Temperance ran across the courtyard, her shoes clattering on the cobblestones. She darted into another passage and left the scene behind. "Who was he, Nell?" she panted as they made their way through the stinking alley. "Do you know?"